Alright, chapter 109 is out, and I will provide a translation of it in the description, and let's just say this chapter was absolutely crazy. So, we finally finished the Wonder of You arc, so it seemed that we went to go back to a flashback from none other than Lucy Steele. The last time we saw her in a chapter was back in chapter 99 when Araki explained a bunch of stuff and we just saw Lucy Steele for a few panels. But it seems that we're finally seeing her in person for the first time since the end of SBR, which was over a decade ago at this point. However, this isn't the same Lucy Steele from back then, as she is considerably much older. When it came to the cover, a lot of people really didn't know what to think. People thought that it might have been Tomoko and Norisuke III Higashikata, since there seems to be a Norisuke hair bubble on the man, and the woman here did look a lot like Tomoko. But in this image announcing that Jojolion was in fact ending next month, we saw the words Lucy and Fumi-kun in this line. This made me on the boat that these characters were Lucy Steele and possibly Josefumi's grandfather, which would explain the soft and wet type of stand, which is in the form of a pin on this dude's bag, since he would have a stand that is pretty similar to soft and wet. However, when it comes to the chapter itself, yes, this old woman is actually Lucy Steele. However, the man's identity is still unknown as why only 18.8% of my audience is actually subscribed to my channel. Since Lucy Steele is born in 1876, if she's around 70 during this time, this would mean that this event is taking place around 1955-ish. So if this dude is around 17 right now, as stated in the chapter, with his name being Fumi-kun, I still think it's likely that he is Josefumi's grandfather, or maybe it's like a Joseph situation where this man, Sadafumi Kujo himself, had a child when he was around 50, being Josefumi Kujo. Since if it's around 1950 right now, for this event, this man would be born around 1930, so I think it's possible he had Sadafumi when he was 30, and then Sadafumi had Josefumi when he was also 30, as Josefumi is born in 1990. But this is all speculation, and this is just my theory on who Fumi-kun really is. So, the title of the chapter is The Radio Gaga Incident. But what exactly is the Radio Gaga Incident? Well, the incident itself is that some guardrail just talks to people and rips their clothes off and then just takes their bodies away. But for normal people, it does just seem like their clothes get taken off and they just disappear. So because of that, it might be possible that this guardrail is actually some type of stand. However, we can't really say that for certain because Lucy Steele does look at an eye of the guardrail, so this could possibly mean that Lucy got a stand somehow, or maybe this event just isn't a stand at all. It could easily be like a rock human of sorts, or just like a really big rock insect that just looks like a guardrail. But yeah, we can't really say anything for certain because sadly the chapter does end on a cliffhanger. So the guardrail is still a mystery on whether it's a rock human or a rock animal or rock insect or just some random stand like Milagro Man. But yeah, it's official that we only have one chapter left when it comes to Jojolion, and that honestly makes me really sad because I really do like Jojolion, and I am sad to see it end next month because I really thought it would last, just a little bit longer. But if Araki wants to end it now, he can. But make sure on Twitter, next month, I'm thinking we do hashtag goodbye Jojolion, or maybe hashtag thank you Araki, or even both. Well, let's try and get something trending on Twitter that is just, really nice, and to show Araki that we truly do appreciate his work. Since this can easily be the last of JoJo, it is possible that we get a part 9, but this is the last, the next chapter is the last Jojolion chapter, of all time. and it might be the last JoJo chapter overall, or just for the next few months, so let's try to end it off like really nicely.